Hello and good evening, everybody. Present Blood Moon here, yet again with another video. Except this time we're not doing a gameplay video. I'm still working on those gameplay videos, uh, which we'll discuss in a different video. So today we're discussing about Resident Evil. I've been a pretty decent fan for a long time of Resident Evil. I've played some of the games, not all of them yet. I'll do a full-on gameplay series of that, but enough about me. So, we are here to talk about the countdown to Capcom's biggest reveal, probably of this year, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. What I'm hoping for is that it will be a Resident Evil related one. But I could be wrong with the fact. Now, with only 5 hours to go, I will leave a link to the description down below to the website of the countdown. So, okay, so there's different things that this countdown could be leading towards. One being related to Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8, if you're only counting the base games. It could end up being a DLC of Ada Wong. It could be relating to Resident Evil's most iconic villain ever in the whole entire game series coming back, which was Wesker. Now, there are things that point throughout the whole entire game series, despite the fact that we supposedly did kill off Albert Wesker for officially at the end of Resident Evil 5. Spoiler. Sorry. There are and have been things that have pointed towards Wesker always being a character that could come back. He's the most iconic villain that we've ever had in Resident Evil franchise. And there hasn't been really a type of villain that we've had in the game since Albert Wesker's demise that met up to the standards of Albert Wesker. We've had Alex Wesker, which was the villain in Revelations 2 that takes place in between Resident Evils 5 and 6. So there was Alex Wesker, who was Albert Wesker's sister. There was also in Resident Evil 6 Jake Mahler, who you do find out that is the actual biological son of Albert Wesker. So, Jake Wesker. We've got two Weskers. At the end of Resident Evil Revelations 2, you end up having where Alex Wesker transfers her mind into the little girl Natalia. Or Natasha? You guys probably know what the name is better than I do. It's been a long time since I played that game. And she'll inhabit that body, and that body will grow up to be the new Alex Wesker years later. Moving back to Resident Evil's content real quick of Resident Evil Village. Ada Wong was supposed to be in the game, as many of you probably know. She was cut out of it. They could end up having that as a DLC, like what she's been doing in between the time of the end of Resident Evil 6 and 8. There's also the possibility of other things I will actually talk about in a later video of like what this what could be in store for Resident Evil 9 and 10, and moving on from there. There's also the Resident Evil 4 remake that people have been extremely requesting, including famous YouTuber Jacksepticeye. Go check out his videos of him playing Resident Evil 3 remake. He wanted a Resident Evil 4 remake, so fingers crossed that they actually go with that. I would actually love to see that, to see like how they would remake Albert Wesker's style. Okay, so on the fact of why I think that Albert Wesker could, and I use this very strongly, that could come back. Will he come back? I hope that they bring back at least a Wesker, because we need some sort of Wesker as a more iconic villain that can travel throughout a whole bunch more of the Resident Evil games, as we haven't really had as I stated, a true iconic villain since then. I would like to actually see it happen. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. My theory is that Capcom will find a way to bring Albert Wesker back eventually, in one way or another. Here's why. One, you can't keep an iconic villain away from the scene forever. Two, there's been many games. Well, there's been at least one game that had where DC Douglas, who does the voice of Albert Wesker, was supposed to actually be in the game, or at least his voice was, and that was Umbrella Corps. Or Umbrella Corps? One of the two. What was it? It was the one on PS4 and Steam, which was, I want to say Umbrella Corps. I don't think I'm saying that name correctly. I really don't. Where is it actually? It was Umbrella Corps. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so Umbrella Corps was the game that DC Douglas had apparently recorded some voice lines for. And the voice lines were apparently, and you can look up the discussion about that on YouTube. I don't know the link. I'll try and find the link to that video about what he had said. Apparently, the voice lines were something along the lines of the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, so on and so forth from there. So DC Douglas definitely had recorded some voice lines apparently for Wesker's return. So whether we killed a clone or a clone of Albert Wesker is running the show now is unclear, because supposedly they cut out those voice lines. Now, Capcom has been known to always put in different types of things that will cut content into later games, so they definitely can, or DLCs nowadays, so they definitely can make it to where you have a character come back. Some people are saying that it could actually be the new Street Fighter 6. Granted, we've been without a new Street Fighter game for a long time. I'd like to actually see Street Fighter 6 become a reality. I don't think they will probably put that in, because Capcom's main focus is the Resident Evil franchise for now, with the RE's Versus mode, which is an interesting one, which kind of has been completely lost now. There's the Resident Evil 4 remake, Resident Evil 9. There's also the possibility that of a DLC that deals with the story of Chris going to the BSAA headquarters in Europe. Now, there is no one that hates the Redfields more than the Weskers. That's without a doubt. So it definitely could be a possibility that we are dealing with at least a Wesker now, with the bioweapons being manufactured by BSAA. I think that I think another possibility would be a Dino Crisis game. Either a new Dino Crisis or a Dino Crisis remake. Either one would be interesting to see, actually, but I can't really think of much else to discuss about this. I will leave all links in descriptions down below on all of this. I am working on my more satisfactory gameplay videos to unlock everything before a new the new update for Satisfactory comes out, with the fact that that's supposed to come out in April, from what Coffee Stain said. Coffee Stain did say update 6 is supposed to happen on April 13th. If I'm mistaken and they've changed it, or if I just misheard it and it was actually August 13th, please let me know in the comments down below. I do think that this would, with the fact that Capcom is doing a countdown, I do think that this is going to be something very big on what Capcom has in store for us. I will be making another video on what I'd like to see for a Resident Evil 9 game, and how the plot could actually go for where it goes from here with Resident Evil after the events of Resident Evil Village, or 8, whichever you want to call it, on what we are in store for. I also do hope that one other Resident Evil game that Capcom would eventually make would be a Revelations 3, as we haven't had a Revelations game in a while, and I feel like that would actually cause for some things to be explained, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, on what you guys actually think everything is going to be for this big announcement that Capcom has. Do you think it's going to be a Street Fighter 6? Do you think it's going to be a new Dino Crisis? Do you think it's a Resident Evil 4 remake? Or 1 or 0 remake? Do you think it's Umbrella Chronicles or Darkside Chronicles remake? Do you think it's announcing the DLC content for Resident Evil Village? Do you think it's the Resident Evil Versus game mode? Do you think it's just going to be announcing the new Netflix Resident Evil series, which would be kind of more of a disappointing thing, in all honesty? I'm more hoping that it's going to be something that, some sort of game-related thing that they're announcing, but I have no idea. We're still like 5 hours away from it, roughly. Actually, we're a little bit less than that. Let me refresh that page. Okay, so we're still 5 hours away, so yeah. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and as always for me, Blood Moon, we'll catch you on the other side, and let's find out in 5 hours to see what happens. Actually, probably less than that right by now. It's actually like, I don't know. Probably just over 4 hours now. So thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the other side.